Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first installation of Cooking with the Chef. I am Dr. Christina Wells, and I am the Health Ministry Leader for the Lake Region Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. And today is going to start off our wonderful series of learning about practical cooking techniques and how to apply those in your very own kitchen. We're so very happy that you joined us this afternoon, and we ask that you would take a moment and share this link with someone else and invite them to also be able to take part in this educational series. On behalf of our president and our administrative committee and our other directors, again, I welcome you and thank you for joining us this afternoon. We have an exciting program in store for you today. And today is going to be a lot about the fundamentals that we're going to be providing as we go along. And so I thank you again. Please share this link with someone else and invite them to join us this afternoon. So, just some information about how we're going to proceed with our program. Just a disclaimer, the information that we're going to be providing today and in our future programs is for educational and informational purposes only. Make sure that you are seeing your doctor regularly and discussing your health conditions with them. And this information that we're providing should not replace the information that you discuss with your healthcare provider. Just so you know, again, we'll be doing these every month. And so our next class is going to be on April the 2nd. And then in May, we're going to be meeting on May the 21st. So those are our two upcoming classes. So make sure that you put those down on your in your calendars. It'll be at the same time and at the same link. But we will be sending out information in between time. And we'll talk later on about how you can register if you want any of the handouts or any additional information that we will be providing during this series. And so again, our next upcoming classes are April the 2nd and May the 21st. So just some information about what are the objectives of this program. Now, these are objectives for today. And so by the end of today, and I would tell you, if you don't have a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, go get it now, because you're going to want to write down all the information that you're going to learn today, or you're going to want to at least go back and review this again. So please go get your pens and paper, your notebooks, so that you can take some notes. By the end of the program today, you will be able to understand the basics of nutrition and understand how to use herbs and spices to create flavorful meals. Many times I hear that people, when they're trying to change their diets, one of the things they say, well, I want to eat food that tastes good. And so the purpose of this cooking program is to be able to help you to create those meals that taste flavorful and good, so that you will want to enjoy them for you, your family, and your friends. And so today we're going to be learning again more about our herbs and spices. How do we make food taste good? So just some background information before we go into our main feature. Our bodies, including our brains and other organs, they need nutrients to grow, reproduce, and maintain a healthy internal environment. So everything that you put in your mouth is broken down for use by your organs. Food is the fuel that our organs use to perform their daily functions. And again, the purpose of food is to provide nutrients to the body to help it to perform its daily functions. Food passes from the mouth to the esophagus, to the stomach, to the small intestine, to the large intestine or the colon, to the rectum, and then through the anus. So what are the 7 basic components of food? So you have carbohydrates, protein, and fat, and we're going to be talking about all of those individually on our future programs. Fiber, which we'll hit on a little bit today and talk about more in our future programs. If you know me, you know that I love fiber. Vitamins, minerals, and water. These are the basic components of food. What are vitamins? Vitamins are things like vitamin E, vitamin K, and vitamin C, and they all individually have specific functions that they perform. In general, they help the body to grow and to function normally. Now, what about our minerals? Our minerals, such as calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, iodine, and zinc, again, they all too have their specific individual functions, and they're elements in food that help our bodies, again, to develop and function normally. What are phytochemicals? Phytochemicals are everything that plants have that you want. Phytochemicals are found in fruits, vegetables, grains, beans, and other plants. And some of these phytochemicals are believed to protect cells from damage that could lead to cancer. For example, substances in food called isoflavones, they act as phytoestrogens, and they can protect from cancers such as breast and prostate. And so estrogens are what you find in soy products. So we're going to talk about soy at a future program because we don't want you to be afraid of soy, because soy is actually very good because of these plant isoflavones, and can actually, scientific evidence shows that these isoflavones and phytoestrogens can actually protect against breast and prostate cancer. And for those of you who are Adventists and get the Lake Union Herald, please look for the next issue that's going to come up in April, because I wrote an article on soy. So we don't want us to be afraid of soy, but we'll talk about soy more in our future programs. What are antioxidants? Antioxidants are substances that may protect your cells against free radicals. What are these free radicals? Free radicals may play a role in things like heart disease, cancer, and other diseases. They are molecules that are produced when your body breaks down food or when you're exposed to tobacco smoke or radiation. So things like air pollutants, tobacco smoke, alcohol, fried foods, pesticides, they can all generate free radicals. Antioxidants, they help protect your body against these free radicals. And antioxidants are mostly found in plants. Fiber. Fiber, if you're not eating fiber, if you don't know what fiber is, by the end of this series of programs, you will be a lover of fiber, I hope. Fiber is a type of carbohydrate that cannot be broken down into sugar molecules, and it passes through the body undigested. Fiber helps regulate blood sugar. So if you have diabetes, you want to be eating fiber. It's important in colon and gut health. It can assist in weight management, and is important in control of conditions such as diabetes, high cholesterol, and heart disease. Now, before we're going to bring on our chef here, who's going to talk to us more about herbs and spices, just a little logistics here. I'm going to put in the chat 2 forms. One form is going to be a registration form. If you want to go to that form, you can go to that form and register to receive any of the handouts that we're going to be giving, or any extra additional educational resources that we're going to provide. So if you go on there, provide your name and your email address, we can make sure that you get that information. In addition, we want to know how these programs are or are not effective for you. So you can also fill out, please, a feedback or evaluation form at the end of each program, so that we can know how we can adjust and make future programs greater and better. And also, if you want to, you can always email me at health@lrcsda.com if you have further suggestions or want additional information. And so now we're going to bring on Chef Miguel. Hi, Miguel. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Hello, doctor. How are you? You fine?
Wonderful, wonderful. And so we're excited to learn about herbs and spices today. And we know you're going to do a short cooking demonstration for us as well. And
Yes.
so we're going to go ahead and put up your slides and let you go ahead and give your presentation. Thank you again for being with us today. And as you get started, I would allow you to take a few minutes to just introduce yourself, Tell us some of the things that you've been doing so the audience can know a little bit more about you.
Okay, my name is Miguel Larche, and I am a French chef for at least 28 years. Um, and I'm married to my dear wife. She's a nurse practitioner. She's going to be a nurse practitioner soon, and she's really interesting about health. And I have two kids. My son is 18, my daughter's 16, and they are all in boarding school. So we kind of like empty nester right now, um, and it's fun. It is fun. And now also I'm travel. I love to teach. I love to educate people. I love to be travels and many places to train, educate in herb and spicy, but how to cook uh, palatable, healthy food at the same time. Because the food is not only healthy, but it has to be also. When you taste it, you should say, "Oh man, I want another bite of this food again. I would love to know how to do it again." And you should not miss the meat when you eat this kind of food also, because it's so good. So today we are going to cover urban spices. I know this is one of the most important principle and foundation of cooking. It is something that most people I went all around the world and do not know really how to combine and use those urban spices. So we're going to learn this. You are the lucky ones that are going to learn all those things today. Not everything, because it takes about 2.5 hours. We're going to do as much as we can in this little amount of time we have. Okay. So the first thing I would like to ask you, um, what is the difference between? Do you like to put the next slide for me? What is the difference between herb and spices? What is the difference between herb and spices? Anybody knows? Herbs is what? It's all about the leaves. Is there somebody people can answer at the same time, doctor?
No, you're not going to be able to hear them.
Okay. Okay. So herb is what? Herb is everything that's talk about leaf. Okay. I want to show you this here. Okay, that's the leaf. The leaf of this is like basil, and that's the anything about herb is the leafy part of the plant, and also rosemary. Also, the leafy part of the plant. I am here cilantro, the leafy part of the plant, and here is I won't tell you now, but eventually I will talk to you about it. This is a one herb that is not very common and not most people don't know how to never use before. So I want to show you these herbs, and I think it's a very nice herb to use. They use it a lot in India. This herb also. Okay, so herb is again about herb is the leaf part of the plant, and spices is what? Spices is everything's about what? Everything's the seeds. Okay, let's say the seeds of a this is the seed. Okay, also is the pod. Okay, it's important to know the different varieties of spices. Okay, some come in different form and therefore different flavors. Okay, let me go this one instead. So the next one is the pod. Pod is like, give me some example of pod. Can you tell me some example of pod? A pod is like cardamom pod. Okay, this is a pod that is a pod is usually is a thick envelope, and inside there is some seed or nuts inside. Okay, so that is pod. Other place you can find spices. So we talk about seed, we talk about pod. Do you have any other place we can find spices? The- Anybody? Okay, I know you probably guess well. And there is also the bark. What is it? What do you think it is? This is cinnamon bark. Okay, and cinnamon bark is incredible. It's a beautiful tree, and I will show you on the web on the side on the slide soon how a cinnamon tree is. Okay, and the next things you will find also is what is it? Turmeric or ginger can be it's the root part of the plant also. Okay, so far we define that a spice come in five different places. Four so far. The seeds, like cumin, coriander, and also the pod like cardamom or nutmeg, and also we find the root like the ginger, and the bark like cinnamon. And there is another place. The most expensive spice actually you will find is what? Saffron. Okay, so the stigma of the flower is called saffron, and this is also another place you can find spice. So let's repeat it again. I'm a teacher, so I like to repeat thing again, so you guys will get it, and it will make sense to you. So we have the seeds like coriander, um, cumin or fennel seeds, and we have also cinnamon, the bark. We have the ginger, the root. It can be horseradish, it can be turmeric, a, and also we have also the stigma from the flower called saffron. Okay, I think I didn't. I don't think I forgot something. The pod. I don't know if I mentioned that already. Okay, so those now we define the spices, and also the more herb and spice you put in your food, the less salt, the less salt you will need. Okay, that's very important. If we if I usually when like let's say example I make a soup, for example, I will never put salt right away into my soup because I put all of my spice, my herbs. Then what I will do, I put my salt because it will give me a certain amount of flavors, and so therefore it will help me to adjust my salt correspondingly. So it's very important to not put salt right after you cook. Also, what else can I tell you about spice? Let's go to the PowerPoint quickly. Okay, so let's the next things. Um, what is the most common seasoning that people use? Do you know? I don't know if I mentioned that one, but the most common seasoning is what? Salt and pepper. So I'm sure that because you sign up for this class, you would like to know more about other seasoning that's salt and pepper. That's the most common seasoning. When somebody don't know what to add, oh, let me put some more salt. Oh, let me put some more chicken broth. Let me put some more, and that's the pepper. And voila, hey, we are there. And no, there is so many of the spices. God gave us a palate to have all these nuances and flavors and and this intricate taste and everything. So we need to use them. Okay, the next slide. Okay, the salt and pepper. This is the most common. The next one. Okay, what is the main purpose of herb and spices? And it's aroma and taste. It had to be equal balance of both aroma and taste. Otherwise, what will happen if one overpower the others? So the food is too much. Like cardamom goes a long way. So if you put too much of cardamom, it will the aroma probably will be great as you cook, but the taste will be overpowering. Okay, so aroma and taste equal what? Flavor. Okay, flavor. And this is what we look when we cook. We look for flavor. Okay, but we need to have both aroma and taste. Okay, the next slide. Okay, so now let's go about the differences of herb and spices. There is uh, this is I don't know. Anybody know about this spice there? What I know when I do live, I let you taste everything actually. So you cannot taste, but I can at least show you. Can you see this? Okay, so this is herb. This here was what? This is spice. Okay, this is a spice and it's called cumin. Cumin is what? Very you have a sweet and pungent taste at the same time. Also, how to define a spice? How to define a taste? The flavor of a spice is important. A spice can be pungent. Remember that. It can be sweet. Okay, it can be tangy. It can be also what? Hot, and it can be also an amalgamation of different spice like curry, the name Yeah, curry, the name just escaped me just now. Masala, I say like this. Okay, so it's an amalgamation of different spice, but this it can be defined as a little pungent and of the flavor. Coriander goes a lot with a lot of different spice. So when you use cumin example, sorry, I mean cumin. Cumin is rich in flavor, and you have a punginess to it, but a slight punginess, not too strong. And people use it a lot in Mexico. They love to use cumin for their chili and their beans, everything. Also in the Caribbean, also you will see that. Also, you will find it also in the North Africans. They love to use cumin, and also sauerkraut in your cabbage. You can put in your cabbage, in your lentil, in your squash. But cumin goes well with coriander. Coriander and cumin is like the perfect partner for your dish. Okay, so next, let's go to next slide. Ah, you're missing one picture there, but so the coriander. This is coriander. Okay, so the coriander seeds is also have like a tanginess. It's tangy to the taste, and it's you have a nice warmth flavor also, and it's slightly pungent but more tangy. Okay, and coriander is used a lot with cumin. Whenever you find cumin, you want to use coriander. Okay, there are two spices that goes well, very well together. Okay, um, coriander usually goes well with allspice. So you can combine with allspice, you can combine with cinnamon together, and you can combine coriander with also fennel and ginger. Okay. So, and remember, whenever you use a spice, it just also goes well for your health. Like example, coriander will reduce help to regulate your blood pressure, something like that, okay? Or improve your digestive system. So when you put a little coriander into your beans, it will help your flatulence, your gas, and it will help your digestive system because you help your digestive system, okay? So coriander is, how many of you use coriander before? I'm sure quite of you. I love to put, when I use coriander, I like to make it, put it in my cabbage. I like to put it in my squash, and I like to put it in anything um, for my soup example. Okay, so coriander and cumin goes well together, so don't be afraid in your salsa and your beans and legumes to use coriander. And eventually through those classes that we're going to have, I will show you, i will I will show you how to use those spices in an extensive way, so you will learn how to utilize them and not be afraid of them. Okay, so the next spice, next slide. The next spice is fennel seed. How many of you use fennel seed? Fennel seed becoming my favorite spice. I love to use it. For some reason, I just have a heart for fennel seed lately. Let me show you that. Okay, so this is fennel seeds. It have like yeah, fennel seed. So fennel seed, you will see it also in the Indian cuisine. They use a lot of fennel seed for their masala. Okay, this is very important uh, for their masala. Also, fennel seed is I love to put fennel seed for my rice. When I do rice, you should try, guys. You should try just a little bit of fennel seed, which goes a long way. I always put like a quarter of a teaspoon for about a cup of rice, and you just let it cook with the rice, and you will just have a different flavor, and it's beautiful. It's so sweet because coriander seed is like a anise licorice taste, and so it's sweet. Okay, and so and I like to use it also for because it's sweet. I like to put it in my butternut squash soup, my sweet potatoes. Put a little bit of fennel seed also there, and also I love to use fennel seed for anything with curry, from potato masala or something like this. And it's also when you go to Indian restaurant, sometimes you see candy fennel seed on the side, and so it's just as a it's breath freshener at the same time. Fennel seed also will improve your digestive system, And also what we do also, for the ladies that is pregnant, it increase the lactations of for the milk, and also purified your blood. Do you know fennel seed improve your skin appearances? So more fennel seed and beautiful skin you will have. I yeah, you should try. You never know. Okay. Okay, the next slide. Okay, fenugreek. Fenugreek is being used in India, in Egypt, Ethiopia. This is a seed that is not very common in North America and many places in the world beside India and Egypt and Ethiopia. It is it have a tangy taste. It's kind of like a piece of stone, like when you try to bite to it. But as soon as you put it into water, it dissolves very fast. So fenugreek is chapati example. I love to make chapati, and one day you will learn how to make this. Chapati is great for fenugreek is great with chapati. And let me show you this on the camera quickly. And this is what you will see. Okay, so this is fenugreek, and of course in India and those places you use it a lot for lamb and beef, thing like this, in Egypt, but mostly but when I make my curry, I have to put fenugreek into this. Fenugreek is like the backbone of my curry. It just bring another dimension of flavor that others that if I do not put it, I will know it's lacking of it. Okay, so and in Egypt and Ethiopia, they love to use it also. Ethiopia, they love to use it for bread and for their fish, thing like this. But it's really great for tofu, for vegetables to marinate. But the most likely use is for curry. Okay, and it goes well with cardamom. It goes well with cinnamon. It goes well with cumin. It goes well with fennel. It goes well with turmeric. Okay, and believe it or not, but it helped to ease the painful menstrual cramps in ladies. Okay, and also it will boost your breast milk also, and yeah. Fenugreek is and I know some places in India they use fenugreek tea, so it's something also they also sprout fenugreek. Okay, it just beautiful sprouting also. Okay, so the next slide. Okay, cardamom. Do you see the flower on the cardamom there? This is beautiful flower there. So cardamom is one of the spice that you is yes, it's sweet, it's lemony, flowery, and but at the same time, is too much of it will overpower your dish very fast. Um, and most of the places you will find is India and the Middle East. Scandinavian use it most, in Germany use it mostly for their pastries. But in India, they will use cardamom, and in the Middle East, especially, they use it for tea. But in India, they use it for the masala and for the curry also, and also sometimes for tea. But the Middle East is mostly for tea. Okay, and let me show you the cardamom. Cardamom goes well with caraway, cinnamon, clove, coriander, cumin, and saffron. And I know some of you might be like, wow, this is a lot of information, but it's just to give you an overview at the same time what is out there. And also like the to show you that wow, we don't have to limit ourselves with just few flavors. We can go so many places, so many countries, yet being in our home. Okay, you don't have to travel overseas you can make it there. And I will teach you how to do this, and it will be healthy and really palatable also. Okay, I will show you the this. I want to show you the cardamom first. Let me show you the cardamom. Okay, so this is cardamom, and I'm going to open one to show you inside of it. There is beautiful seed, and if you do cook it, when I cook it, the cardamom, most of the time I take the powder. It's a lot of work, but you can find it also in the form of powder or in the form of seed. But let me open one of them for you so you can see. Okay, and something to Before I go further, I want to ask you this question also. What is the difference between dry spice, a ground spice, I mean ground spice, and whole spice? The difference is one will is fresher than the others. Okay, so this is the cardamom seed that you see there. Okay, yeah, let me go a little down. Yeah, okay, and the flavor. Let me. The flavor is just incredible. Wow, it's something to experience. If you haven't never tried cardamom, I will highly recommend you to buy some and just open it like I just did and just give it a smell. Ah, this is incredible. I can't stop smelling this thing. It's just it's just too good. Mm, man, I want to cook. Oh, this is incredible. So cardamom, I love to use cardamom. You know what I love to use cardamom for is my coconut lime oatmeal. One day you will learn how to do this. Okay, it's like it's the best oatmeal you ever have. It's like a dessert at the same time it's breakfast, and you put some cardamom in this and a pudding or like you can do like also I like to put in my Thai food and curry and everything also. But in pastries, it's just incredible in pastries. And cardamom have a these incredible things for your health also. Do you know that is also protect against chronic disease also. Cardamom have they usually use a lot for tea. But yes, this is one spice that I love to use also, especially when I do a butternut squash soup uh, with some leeks and celery, and I put some cardamom and ginger, and you have a soup and a little bit of coconut milk. I tell you, this is like out of this world. So cardamom is one spice that must I think most people need to learn how to make this spice. Okay, how to use this spice. Okay, the next slide. Okay, saffron. Saffron is just like. Do you know? Before I keep going, did I tell you the difference between spice, ground spice, and allspice? I think I forgot. Okay, ground spice, it would take about 3 months before after 3 to 6 months, your spice, the ground spice, the oil will be gone from your spice. That's mean the flavor will disintegrate. It will degrade in flavor. Okay, so therefore I would highly recommend and keep it from the light, also the heat. Many time our spice is above our stove, but it's best to put it in a place where there is no heat and no light. And if ground spices last more than 3 to 4 months, I think you should consider to put it into the trash. The flavor is gone, and it's sad, isn't it? I know it's sad, and but it's if you want to experience great meal, I think this is and buy whole spice example. The whole spice, I will show you what the secret of a chef, and I'll cook it for you later on. Show you what to do in order to increase 95% the flavor of your spice. If you do not do this, you will lose. It's like buying your spice so expensive and lost 90% of your money into nothing. Yeah. So therefore, you from now on, I hope you will use this technique that I will show you later on, and how to use your spice in a way that will increase the flavor of your spice and make it a wonderful experience for you. Um, yes, and the difference between dry herb, and fresh herbs is also the same. Dry herbs is best to use dry herbs in dry herb have its place to use. But fresh herbs, when you use fresh herb, there is places for fresh herbs that you need to use um, more into. Yes. Okay. The fresh herb is best to use fresh herbs for in the beginning or after or in the end of your cuisine. It's most of the fresh herb need to be used at the end, like basil, cilantro, mint, tarragons are herbs that is the mint family. They call it the mint family because they evaporate and very fast also into your food. So therefore, you do not want to put it in the beginning. So you want to put like 5 to 10 minutes. Let's say you make a tomato sauce. It usually takes 30 minutes to make a nice tomato sauce. So you put it like 10 minutes, those fresh up before the end of your cooking. But let's say you want to use rosemary, bay leaves, sage, time. Those ones are kind of woody and pungent flavor. So therefore, it's best to use them at the beginning of your cooking. Let's say you make again tomato sauce. You want to put your rosemary as soon as you start to simmer your tomato sauce as your rosemary in it, and your bay leaves, things like this. So therefore, the flavor will last, and we give it will embody your your sauce, and it will be a great experience for you while you're eating it. Okay. So let's talk about saffron. Saffron is the most expensive herbs in the world. We've also I would say vanilla also. Vanilla was not as expensive, but there is a shortage. Vanilla, there is backups from year after year, making vanilla very expensive. Sri Lanka doesn't do as much vanilla anymore. So now, saffron, do you know that you take about 5 pounds of the stem out of actually 80,000 roses. And I have a picture. Next time I'll show it to you. And those ladies, it's a back breaking work. They had to kneel there and take all the stigma from the saffron. You cannot do it mechanically. You have to do it. You have to do it by hand. So therefore, that's why it takes so much time to harvest the saffrons from the stigma of the flower, and it takes about 5 pounds of the stigma to make 1 pound of saffron after roasted. So it takes 80,000 pounds of 80,000 roses that make 5 pounds of the saffron itself, the stigma itself. But after it goes through the process of roasting, it will give only 1 pound. So that's why it's so expensive, the saffron. But saffron is like it's one of my favorite subtle flavor. You have a floral, sweet, honey taste. And you find it in Spain. Spain uses it a lot. This is the number one, as I believe, in for saffron. They use it for the national dish. How many of you know this national dish of where saffron is made? Paella. Paella is it's an incredible dish. If you haven't tried, I know they do paella with seafood, but we can make a nice vegan paella without this, and it's incredible flavor. Too much saffron, we take like medication. So saffron we have to learn how to dose the right dosage of saffron. And Sweden and France, we use it a lot for custard. I use for my custard. I love to use saffron sometimes, and for different dessert also. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, this is nutmeg. Nutmeg. Let me show you. Nutmeg is let first is have a warm and sweet flavor, but also it's imported. Is you find the country I use it a lot is Europe, from Sweden, from Italy, from Germany, from Norway. Europe is the number one, I believe, that use the most nutmeg, because they for the custard, from their pastry sauce, from their dessert, for anything like this, nutmeg is being used. Let me show you quickly one nutmeg here. So this is one spice. I have two spice. Just like coriander. Coriander, do you know coriander come from cilantro? Cilantro is a herb and coriander is a spice. And but this one has two spices itself. Okay. Nutmeg. What is the top of the nutmeg? It comes some many time with um, this one is drier. So this is what before it get too dry, this is what you get. Okay. So that's the nutmeg itself. And inside the nutmeg, you find what? On top of the nutmeg, this is called mace. That's another spice. This is the only spice in my as far that I know, I have two spices. Okay, so the mace, and inside this is a part. So you have to break it. I'm going to show you quickly how to break this. Okay, and you open this, and what you see? Look at this. You see nutmeg. Do you have a grater here? Yes. Yes. I want to grate some of the nutmeg for you. This is I do not buy ground nutmeg anymore. I buy I don't believe ground nutmeg um really define what is nutmeg is. So I want to just grate a little bit. Oh man, it's like it smell like it's like you're going back to Christmas, you're going back to the holidays. The smell is just like fantastic. You will never have such smell with a ground nutmeg. You will never have. Fresh nutmeg, grated, it goes a long way. Also, my wife likes to use it for oatmeal. Also, I love to use it for oatmeal. I put some lime, I put some nutmeg, some cardamom. I tell you, and in a banana smoothie. Oh, I wish you had to make this. My best banana smoothie in the world, and you will love how to make. You will love banana smoothie if you never try oatmeal. Those who hate oatmeal, like, give me a chance and you will love it. Nutmeg goes a lot because they have like a sweet warm taste. So I love to use it for sweet potatoes, for pie, for things like this. And also it goes well actually. Nutmeg goes well with cinnamon, goes well with all those things that are sweet, like butternut squash, sweet potatoes, like I said, and also pastries, pumpkin, um, your cabbage, your quiche, anything with like a sauce, like a white sauce, like a bechamel, thing like this. Nutmeg goes well with it also. Um, uh, the benefits of nutmeg is really pain, is soothe your digestive system, and also it's a detoxify of the body also, and increase your immune system also. Nutmeg, I love to use nutmeg for those things, especially when the holidays come. Nutmeg, here I am. Next slide, please. Okay, so we have cinnamon. Do you see how the cinnamon grows, guys? In the back. This is what God is incredible. God is fantastic. Do you, a cinnamon bark? How many times you if when you're a kid and you try to peel a bark of a tree, your father parents say, "Do not peel the bark of the tree; you will kill the tree." And this cinnamon tree, you can peel the bark as much you want. It's a self-healing. It regenerates itself. It will not die. So it comes from the bark. And one day I was walking. I'm from the Caribbean. I'm from Martinique, and I'm French, by the way. You probably understand that by now. And so one day I was walking, and in let me see something. Yeah, what I was. Hold on. Yeah, one day I was walking in the forest in the Caribbean, in Martinique, and we discovered a beautiful cinnamon tree. It was smelling incredible. The smell far away, and I that was my first time meeting a cinnamon tree, and I say, "What is that thing?" And I opened it, and I couldn't believe the flavor, the smell. The whole place was full of aroma of cinnamon, sweet, first sweet. The leaves, everything. It was just an awesome experience. So cinnamon also, yeah, ground cinnamon. This is one thing you can probably use as much as is not like 6 7 months old. Um, because every time you buy something fresh, ground, you need to look vibrant also at the same time. So the same thing for the cinnamon. Um, this is a bark that I found. This bark is from straight from the Caribbean. Um, and it's also there is the one that you can mostly find in store. They are like a kind of whole on in itself, and those one have great flavors. But I do believe the Caribbean spice, the Caribbean cinnamon is way better. When you grate this thing, just man, this is like I can see pudding. I can see my oatmeal still. Yes, we'll put that also. I can see like my pie, my pumpkin pie, a sweet potato pie, or thing like this. And I love to put it for my curry also. Cinnamon is like just perfect. I make a korma not long ago. I just make a korma. It's an Indian dish, and cinnamon is just the one that bring the flavor together. So cinnamon goes a long way. So you have great flavor also. I want to um, mention also for cinnamon, it goes on the Moroccan couscous. I don't know if you ever try Moroccan couscous in your life, but this is something that in Morocco they use a lot. In North Africa, they use a lot of cinnamon also. It goes well with coriander. It goes well with cumin. It goes well with ginger, with nutmeg, and it's actually lower your blood sugar. Cinnamon can lower your blood sugar, and also uh, reduce inflammation also. Okay, so The next slide. Next slide. Sorry, we are there. Okay, the next slide is what do you think it is, guys? Anybody knows? Star anise. Okay, star anise is mostly used. Star anise is not common. It's not something that people use everywhere. You don't see it a lot of country. It's China and Vietnam. In Vietnamese places they use a lot for their pho. Okay, that's one of the main ingredients for their pho. Star anise also. One is in China they use it for their teas like this. In India, they use it not really for their meal. Some meal have it, but for also for tea. You have um, a licorice taste and also like a sweet, but a tinyness of pungent. The pungent come from let me change the camera because of the woody part. Otherwise, it will not be as pungent. If it's the seed itself, the seed is really shiny. Can you see? It's like it have a shininess to it. It's hollow, and when you press it, it just break like a piece of glass. Okay, that's. I'll just break one for you guys. Let me see if we can see it. It's kind of tiny there, but let's see. Maybe I can zoom it a bit. Let's see. I don't know if I should try this now. Okay. Okay. You see, you did hear the sound there? It just cracked like it's a hollow sound, and it's just like this. Okay. Just beautiful seed, just beautiful seed like that. Okay. Star anise. Okay. When apple cider, yes, just apple cider for Thanksgiving. Star anise goes well with it. Also, uh, the place I love to use star anise is for um, pumpkin, for dessert, for apples, thing like this. And it goes well with lemongrass. Lemongrass is one. The next time I will show you lemongrass. Also, it goes well with coriander, with fennel seed because they are sweet. Anything that is sweet, little slightly pungent goes well with star anise. I don't know if you ever use star anise other places, but you can use it also for your jams, thing like this also. Okay, and I love to use it. Especially, I love to use it when I make my soups and also some of my apple cider also. I don't use it too often, but it's a spice that deserve our attention also. Okay, the next slide. Okay, this one is a I don't know how to call it, a spice and the herbs. Yeah, I mentioned that to you because I say anything's herbs, anything that is leafy is a herbs, but yet they call it what? A curry leaves. Okay, curry leaves. You have like a warm, pleasant, lemony, little bit bitter in taste, but it smell really really warm. It smell like it's you have a flowery taste, but at the same time, it's you have hmm, the lemony, a little bit slightly bitter, but it's a great. In India, they use it a lot in South Africa because South Africa have a lot of influence, Indian influence in South Africa. So therefore, they have the same kind of dish also. So in India, they use it a lot for their korma, for the curry. That's mostly they use it for, and for their feet, for their lambs, and like this. But this is a nice variation for your curry. Um, it's like when I make curry, sometimes I use it, not all the time. I like to use also lime leaves also, and so there is also the subtlety, and people wonder what is it exactly, what do you put in it. It's just another level of flavors to add into your curry, so it's not the same boring curry. You can change with different herbs, different spices also. Okay, uh, let's go to let me see if I have some um, it's a good powerful antioxidant also, and also it is used. You can use it with cardamom, we can use it with chili, with cilantro, with coconut milk is perfect with coconut milk. It's or I love to use it for my lentils. Yes, I forgot that. I love to use it for my lentils. I love to use it for also my chickpea when I make a chickpea curry or lentils. I love to use it, and it goes well with any vegetables. Okay, the next slide. The next slide. Okay, so this one is ginger. Most people use the ground ginger, but why don't we use why we not try this awesome ginger here? Let's see. Let me change this. Yeah, here. Yes. Ginger is also. Can I go back to the slide? Go back to the slide for 1 second. Ginger is also it's like I have a citrus, a tangy, and also it's kind of hot to the taste. Also, um, if you taste it just straight like this, yeah, for sure it will burn you a little bit. And I like to sometimes I'm like I'm crazy like this, and many times before I go to bed or in the morning, I will take some ginger. It's like a give you an energy boost, but at the same time, it helps your immune system. So I like to make sure my system is always in good shape. So from time to time, I will take a little ginger and I will peel it, and then I will just use it like this. Actually, just like it's hot, but you go for it. It's tangy. Oh, you can taste all the sweet. This is excellent. It's I love to in China and Japan. You guys know that they use a lot of ginger for the cabbage, for the green sauce, for the marinade. So this is what ginger is used mostly, and uh, and also for the curry. I like to make deep sauce that will also bring ginger benefits of ginger. It's like uh, when I make my kimchi, I like to put ginger in my kimchi. When I make my soup, my sauce, I put some ginger in it. Not long ago, I make a potato leek soup. The potato leek soups, I put some ginger and I put also some chili. I tell you, people came back. It was for potluck this yesterday. People came back again and again, and before I came to try it, it was gone. Okay, so ginger with potato leeks is soup is incredible. This is something I wanted to try for the first time, and it worked well. Um, this is something. Do not be afraid to use ginger different places. It goes well with also turmeric, with tamarind. It goes well together with it. With coconut milk also, and basil and cilantro goes well with ginger. And lemongrass with mint with scallion, it goes well with it. Okay, so ginger with cabbage, with soup, with vegetables, with curry, with tofu, it's just incredible dish to spice to use. Okay, so this is one thing, one trick for ginger. I just want to show you quickly. Let me show you this. One trick for ginger. Well, I need a smaller knife. I forgot to bring it there, but it's best. My knife is very sharp, so I must cut myself there. Okay, so with a paring knife is the best way to peel ginger is to grate it. Okay, with a paring knife it'll be better, but I go like this. Okay, so we take the skin off and then you can use it, or you can just slice very slightly, or take a peeler. But the peeler is awkward with the peeler sometimes because it's the pieces is all deformed, so it's hard to use. So it's best to grate it, and also or with a knife, just carefully do that. Okay, and you have your all ginger peel. Okay, so now the next slide. If we have another slide, I don't know. That's it. Okay, that's it for you. That's it for the slide. Okay, so now I would like to demonstrate something very important for you. Let me take everything out there. It is very important to know how to use those spice. So today, it's not really cooking, but it's a demonstration how to increase the potential flavor of your spice. Okay, you want to use at least 100% or 90% of your spice flavor. So therefore, you want to make sure that whatever you do, it will increase the flavor of your spice. Otherwise, while you spice. So this is what we do professional in our kitchen, professional in our kitchen. So I want to show you something very important. So I have like a mortar. This is not necessary to have, but I will use it for. Uh, sorry, I eat the ginger and it's going through. So I use this mortar, and so we can find different kind. I have one here. I have one here in just like that, and also on a wood form. Okay, so I like the wood form for some reason. I think because it's there is some charm in it. I don't know. Says yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to first you want to put your skillet. Let me go give you. Let me just do this a little bit. Okay, so you can see. Okay, I'm going to put the skillet on here. You want to have a hot skillet first, and then what we're going to use, I'm going to use all the spice, most of the spice that I show you today. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to put some into the skillet, some cardamom. Okay, a little bit of cardamom. The heat. I can hear you.
Can you switch the camera so we can see? We can't see.
Okay, yes. Okay, yes. Oh, oh, so sorry. This is camera. Thank you. Okay. Let me put this a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to use some cardamom, the cardamom here. Then after this, I'm going to put some cumin. I just put on a cutting board right now for you guys, so you can see what I'm doing before I put in the skillet. A little bit of cumin. I put coriander. I wish you can smell the spices right now. It smells like you're going to a farmer's market in India or in South Africa, and so all those beautiful spices together lined up there. Even in the south of France, we have a lot of Middle Eastern or Indian places, and so they line up those spices just before in their store. All kind. You see the first picture on your PowerPoint. That's the way they line up the spices, and you just come and scoop how much spice you want. It's incredible. Also, I'm going to put some fenugreek. Okay, a little bit of fenugreek, and I forgot to show you clove, but clove, all guys know about cloves. I didn't want to try to taste it. Okay, so some clove there, and that's it for now. I just put this. Now my skillet is hot. Okay, the skillet is very hot, and now I'm going to add all the spices into my skillet. Okay, just like that. And this is very important now. I know many ladies are multitasking. So this is one thing you don't want to be multitasking. You want to stay focused on your spices, because when it burn fast. Okay, and you don't try to save it. Just you have to do it again. Okay. So what I want to do, I want to put in the skillet until the flavor, the aroma starts, the fragrance of the fly start to develop. Okay, so I'm going to it's going to smell like nice and invade the whole place. Now I can smell it. It smells incredible. Okay, and you want to stir it from time to time. Yeah. Okay, so this is what we get. Okay, you don't want to go for more than this. See, okay. Now I'm going to put everything into my mortar, and then I'm going to crush this thing there. And it's not necessary to crush it, but when you crush it, you have to use it right away. Okay, you have to put it. If you leave it 30 minutes after you come back, the flavor is gone. Okay, so you need to put it as soon as you crush it. You need to put it in your preparations, whatever you plan to do. Otherwise, you don't have to crush it. You can put it straight into your preparation. Okay, there is something very important. Let's say you make a soup. So instead, let's talk about onions and celery and carrots. Okay, so you saute some onions. and you're going to add some some. Lily, may I have some olive oil, please, on the squeeze? Yeah. So I want to show you something quickly. But first, let me show you this here. Okay, so you stir this thing nicely. Ah, the flavor, this flavor is out of this world. So I can smell everything. Like while before I could smell like 10%, but now I toasted everything. It release all the 95% of the flavor or the spice. The oil develop and increase the the flavor or the spice by just toasting it. And it's incredible. I'll show you on the camera quickly. This is what you got. And I told you the smell is incredible. It is just perfect. Yes. Okay. So now this is one way to do it. Dry heat. Now, if you want to use, if you do not want to use a mortar or go to this process, it's okay to not go to this process. I'll show you the other way to do it. Okay. So this for this you will need. Let's say you want to saute some onions and then put. So you want to saute the onions and then you want to put it into a. Let's say let's go back to tomato sauce, a tomato sauce or whatever. Okay. So okay. So you want first dice your onions. Okay, just like that. So you slice it this way and like that. Okay. Then you want to do dice. Okay. Okay, so we have our onions ready. Now I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil into the skillet, just a little bit, just like that. And then I'm going to saute my onions. You see here the sound? Beautiful. Okay. Then I'm going to, and this is the time you want to put your spices. Okay. So when the onion is tender enough, you wait for the onions to be a little bit tender. Then you put your spice. Okay. So the spice that I'm going to use, I just put some cumin and some coriander, just for an example. Okay. Okay. So and it will still increase for 90% of your flavor of the spice will be increased. Okay. But let's say you have a soup. What can I do? I just have a soup and I have just water, vegetable, and everything in my soup. Do the same thing. Saute the you can saute in the skillet first and then put it in your soup. Any liquid will be placed after. Okay, you don't want to put any liquid um, before you actually toast your spices because it will defeat the purpose of to release the flavor of your spice. Okay, so you want to make sure you always in contact with heat or oil before you put your spice into a liquid form. Okay, so you always want to do that first. Then it's ready to do whatever. Now, if I want to put my tomato sauce in it, if I want to put everything in my liquid, I'm ready for it. That makes sense. Yeah. So this is the secret of the way, and you see that in Indian cuisine, they are one of the most advanced in using spices in Indian cuisine. So and this is I've been doing it for years and years, and this is the way we chef we love to use our spice before we add it into any cuisine, any cooking, any of any form. Okay. Um, if you have any questions, it's time for you feel free to ask any question. Otherwise, we are done for this demonstration today.
Thank you, Miguel, for that. I do have a few questions,
Yes.
and we appreciate everyone who's joined in today. And this is our first live cooking show as a part of this series. So we're thankful for being able to be here and provide this education. Don't forget to register so that you can get the handout that has been prepared that will provide you more of the information about the herbs and spices. So please register so that we continue that handout. My question is that um, where's the best place to buy herbs and spices, and how's the best way to store them?
Okay, the best place to find. Sometimes I go to Amazon online to find my spices, but also there is many little store like Indian store, Asian stores. This is what I like, or Middle Eastern store. I like to go these places to buy my spices. Uh, and because and also it's it seems like they have a good um, um, customer base, so the spicy doesn't last long, and it's like it's when you go there, it just smells fresh every time. So that's where I like to buy it. Yeah, and also the next what is the next to store it. I like to put those in a jar. You see a tight container like this one. It's small. You don't want for those who do that as business, you want a bigger jar. But for a home, something like this, and it will last for about 4 years. The whole spice will last 4 years into your cupboard. Okay, ground spice will last about 3 to 4 months. I will not go 6 months. Some places it's 6 months, but I go 4 months. Okay, this is
So
the
the
best
whole
way.
spice lasts a few years, but the ground spice,
Yeah.
we should be getting rid of those after a few months.
Yes, maximum 5 months, and but the whole spice will last at least 4 to 5 years. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Any other tools or information you would like to provide for us? And then also tell us what's going to be coming up in our next cooking show.
Yes. Okay. One thing it'd be excellent. Doctor and me were talking about. It'd be excellent that if you guys buy those things in advance, we give you the recipe in advance, so you can also follow me step by step as we go together and cook together. I think it'll be fun. I think we'll have a wonderful experience together. And of course, it'll be because live you can mess up. It's okay to mess up and to do it again. It's like it's a journey, so don't expect you to be a professional in 2 3 days. So it's a journey, and we understand that. So that's why we want to teach you and to empower you, give you foundations, good techniques, and so you can feel free and happy in the kitchen and have an enjoyable experience. We learn also knife skill. Knife skill is something very important to learn, because knife skill give you like abilities to go a little faster, and also give you enjoyment to cut things. You will see yourself, oh, I want to cut this carrot. You will want to cut everything after that. Knife skill is so vital for good experience in the kitchen. Okay. Um, and the next thing will be all about legumes. So we're going to learn about different source of legume. Like we use lentils, we use black beans, we use garbanzo probably, and so we'll learn how to use different flavors for all those three kind of beans. Okay, legumes. So lentils. Well, I don't know where we go. Probably go India or black beans, Cuban style, and chickpea like Asian style. I don't know. So this is what we're going to learn next time, and we will encourage you to buy them in advance. We send you the recipes, and take a chance, have fun with us in the kitchen. Okay. Welcome to my kitchen, by the way.
Yeah, wonderful. That's going to be a good program. So if you enjoyed it today and come back next time, each time we do this is going to get better. We do
Yes.
have a few more questions, but in talking about our next program, talking about legumes, we're going to be talking about the health benefits of legumes, and that we're going to be talking about fiber. And there are so many health benefits of legumes. It is beneficial for the prevention and management of a lot of diseases. So really come, because I know a lot of people eat beans, which are part of the legume family, and lentils, but a lot of times we're flavoring them with animal foods
Yeah.
and animal fats. And so we're going to show you again, using these herbs and spices in our next program, how you can have flavorful legumes that you're going to love, and you will not miss that animal fat because
Yes.
they're going to be so flavorful. So make
Yes.
sure you join us again. Our next program is going to be April 2nd. And also, too, as Miguel mentioned, make sure you register, because we are going to be sending out in advance. And typically, it will be attached to the announcement for the program. So when you go to the Lake Region Conference YouTube page, you will see in the description of the program for our next program There's going to be a few links. One will be the registration link, one will be the evaluation link, and one will be a link to forms that will include recipes. So make sure that you check those at least a few days in advance of our next program so that you will have the recipes that we'll be cooking so that you can follow along and cook them in your own home with your own herbs and spices and your own foods. So another question we have is, um, how do you tell or choose fresh ginger root, and how long should you keep it?
Okay, ginger root is you can you need to be firm to the taste. Okay, to the touch. Let me show you something. Okay, it should be firm. Any softness there, like here, some part is soft like this one. You don't want to have a ginger mushy like this and soft like this. You want to have the whole ginger very firm to the touch. Okay, and some many time it's open one side. It's okay if it's open, but make sure it's a bright uh, bright color also. And also the way to what is the next question? The other questions. Uh,
How do you store it?
Okay, how to store it? You can leave it outside for a week or two. It's fine outside, but I like to put it in a plastic bag and a Ziploc bag and tie it, or Tupperware container and just put it inside. And it will last for a long time. Okay, but make sure it's dry well. Make sure there's no moisture before you do that.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, Miguel, anything else before we let people go? Anything else that you want to add? I know this was wonderful. We learned a lot today about our herbs and spices. And now we're going to, as we move forward, now we're going to use these herbs and spices as we cook foods. And remember, this is a year long. So we're going to be going through a lot of different cuisines, helping us to learn how to eat healthier, but how to eat healthier and make our foods taste flavorful, have those nice aromas. So when people walk into our homes, the food
Yes,
is inviting because it
yes,
smells so good.
yes. And
Any other tips you want to give us today before we end?
yes, it's I want to add something about the spice itself. Spice in itself is not hot, okay? It's unless if you put like something like called something like called chili, you know. So then it be hot. Okay, so that's the things. Many people say, it's too spicy. I say, what do you mean? Is it too hot or too much cumin? I just want to know. And so spicy itself is not hot unless you put an element in it to make it hot, like pepper and all those things. So um, don't think because you put all those things that you'll be like overpowering. We will help you to make it balanced. At the same time, the flavor that you intended to have in your spice is there. Okay, and so yeah, that's and also if you spring is coming, summer is coming, you're going to have a lot of basil in your garden. You're going to have all how to dry your things. You see the first slide that I had, the first slide. You see the basil, the rosemary is upside down. This is what you want, the way you want to dry your herbs and store it for the winter. And also if you have too much basil, because nature, the Lord just multiply when you plant things. You basil or any herbs, you can't just blend it in olive oil or water and put it in the ice cube and freeze it. So whenever you need any uh, some basil, you can just take one ice cube basil and put it in your sauce, and that's it. And it will last for a long time. This is what the way we do it a lot in the kitchen also. Okay.
So did you say put the basil
Yes.
in some olive oil, put it in the ice cube tray
Yes. Blend it
and
first.
freeze it?
Yeah. Blend it first, and then after putting the ice cubes and freeze it. Yeah. And whenever you need any ice cube, basil or rosemary, whatever you have, you can just put in your sauce. Okay. Anything you do. Yeah.
And so would you do that with just like, is it just the basil and the rosemary that are
Yeah.
the ones
You
with
can.
leaves?
Yeah, you can do it for with any herbs because those this let's face it, in the winter these herbs is so hard to find. They are so expensive in the store, like $4 for little few leaves. So, but if you do that in advance and freeze any herbs that you know that you won't find in the winter, just do it, and you will find you find it's a lifesaver and money saver also. For my spices, next time, sometime during the process, I will teach you how to make flavorful oil flavors. Okay, so how to infuse your oil, olive oil. So you can just put a little bit and bring a lot of flavors, or some smart balance like this, how to flavor it also. Okay. Yeah.
Wonderful. Sounds exciting for the
Yes.
things that are coming up ahead for us. So again, we thank you, Chef Miguel,
Yes.
for being with us today, for all the information that you provided. Again, this is what we're going to be doing on a monthly basis. We're going to be providing some foundational education. We're going to be doing some cooking and showing you guys how to cook. And hopefully, maybe towards the end, we can all come together
That would be
in
excellent.
some way so
Yes.
that we can do this actually in
Yes.
person.
Live.
So, but
Yes.
for now, we're going to do it virtually so that,
Yeah.
again, you can share this link with someone else so that they can sit and learn about how to use their herbs and spices. I know I learned a lot today. And I'm going to use my herbs a little bit differently. I'm going to buy them at different places and I'm going to store them differently than
Yes.
how I've been storing them. And so go back, watch this over again. Again, share it with your family, your friends, and your neighbors. And we really look forward to having you at our next program. And so, Miguel, I'm just going to ask you that as we end, if you would just say a prayer for us and our
Yes.
audience and for
Yes.
all those who are going to go out and be mini chefs and start
Yes.
getting new herbs and
Take your
spices
hat with
and
you, the chef hat. I'll bring a chef hat next time.
and who are going to be now experimenting with new flavors and aromas.
Yes. Let's have prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much again for the privilege you gave to each one of us to learn the science of herb and spices. You know how it is important. You create those spices and herb for our enjoyment. And Lord, we want to learn how to use it so we can expand our vocabulary, our experience in the kitchen, and also may we be an ambassador for you, and use this way of cooking as a right hand to encourage others in the healthy way. Thank you to bless our audience. Pray that you may fill them, your spirit and your presence. Thank you for our doctor, and thank you for blessing her. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, everyone. We will see you April 2nd at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. See you then and have a wonderful, blessed week.